America is in the middle of some really unusual economic times. There are indicators saying that the market is getting better, and at the same time, there are indicators saying the market is getting worse. I feel probably by next year, 2025, we will be in the midst of some type of recession. So the question is, will there be a soft landing or hard landing? Well, I think one of the biggest concerns America really needs to be concerned with is our national debt. And I think it plays such a major role in the economy. But in order to understand the national debt, we need to understand the effect that it's going to have on our spending. But human beings have a very hard time with three basic things. That's time, exponential growth, and large numbers. The reason I'm going through this is I want to make you feel a flavor for what debt is in the moves of trillions of dollars. $1 trillion is 10 to the 12th power. You could pay LeBron James for 50 years with $1 trillion. If you had $1 trillion of single dollar bills, they could cover the entire state of Delaware. And if you lined up $100 bills with, you could probably reach from the earth to the sun. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the economy right now. And let's start with something called the federal funds rate. The reason why the federal funds rate is important is that's the money that banks lend to their best customers, which are other banks. And that's the money lent to them overnight, which is called reserves. The government requires when each bank opens in the morning, they have a certain amount of reserves. Another indicator is something called the prime rate. The prime rate is what a bank charges its best customer, which would be a commercial customer. And that right now is, if the Fed funds rate is 5.25, the prime rate is usually 3 points above that. So that would be 8.25, which is kind of high. Another indicator that the government uses toward and economists use toward what shape the economy is in is called the PMI. And that's the index that that what the producers of products predict they're going to spend, how many people they're going to hire, what kind of output they're going to have, what their inventories look like, delivery times of purchasing. And that gives the economists an indication of whether the purchasing managers have confidence in the economy. That's been still kind of low, which is not good. Consumer price index was last recorded in May of 4.0, which is not that great either. The unemployment rate is 4.1. It's going up. Mortgage rates are based upon the 30-year mortgages 7.50. It seems to be declining. If you're getting something out of the video, please give me a thumbs up. Let's talk a little bit about how Americans feel about the economy. A survey was taken of 1,000 people, and 44% of America's youth are not positive about the economy. They feel the job market is bad. 18 to 34-year-olds feel that they're just not saving enough money. 68 of that same cohort figure housing prices are too high. And 54% of that same cohort feels that inflation is too high. There's also issues where 30% of that cohort feels that taxes are too high. There's something called the yield curve. And what it is a measurement of 2 years federal notes versus 10 years. Why that's important is if the yield curve, if people believe the economy is going to be good, they're willing to invest their money for long periods of time, like 10 years. If they feel the economy is not going to be good, they're willing to invest their money for a short period of time, maybe 2 years. Right now, and over the last few years, under the current administration, there's been more money there's been higher rates charged for 2 years than 10 years, which is not a good thing. That means that there isn't that much confidence in the long run. Like I said, we're getting mixed messages all over the place. The major story, and it just ended, the major story of probably the month is the crowd strike upgrade failure, which had dramatic effect across entire markets, all industries. It lasted quite a few days. Billions and billions of dollars were lost, and there is potential of lawsuits coming. Another piece of bit of news you might want to know about is that if you're a student loan borrower, the SAVE program has been stopped by some federal courts, the Biden program for student loan repayment. Some information on China, real estate problem, really, really bad. There's a youth unemployment problem. They feel like they're underemployed. There is one thing that China is doing that America needs to be concerned with their Belt and Road is they have contracted, or they have built out one of the largest deep water ports in Peru, which is going to rival the port of Los Angeles, which is going to be a problem. But that's what the Belt and Road Chinese issue is all about. The ECB, the European Central Bank, unlike the Federal Reserve Bank, has cut their rates. Some scary things out there again is going back to debt. Every 100 days, America adds $1 trillion to its debt. We're continuing to take money from strategic oil preserves to keep the oil prices down, gas prices down. This is all artificial. It's going to come back and bite us with $1.7 trillion in credit card debt. In essence, bringing the whole thing to conclusion, I just think that next year, 2025, is going to be a very, very tough year, irrespective of whoever wins the presidential presidency. I'd like to thank you for your time. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.